that it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, Mayor Pro Tem Witt's citizen survey.
Those of you who are not familiar with the Snellville citizen or the National Citizen Survey from Snellville, I'm just going to give you a very brief overview and give you kind of like a report card of where we've been and what we've done. And as soon as we can get that up, it'll be there. The National Citizen Survey results is a survey that focuses on basically four major areas of the citizens' concerns for the city: the community characteristics, the local government services, the issues of the public trust, and civic engagement in the community. The first survey was conducted after the January 2010 council retreat to establish a consensus of the citizens as to their opinions on the areas that were just mentioned. We received that survey back in May of 2010. Then, late January 2012, we did a follow-up survey to reflect the consensus of the citizens in the same areas, and we received that in April of 2012. The objective was to use the 2010 survey as a baseline, a place for us to start. We were to identify the areas that the survey revealed that we needed improvement in, and then to address and concentrate on the identified areas, and then to conduct subsequent surveys to monitor our success or failure in improving the identified areas and the problems and concerns of the citizens. I think we need to go two this time. Go ahead. Great. What were the areas of concern? The identified areas of concern in the 2010 survey were the lacking of a sense of community or opportunity for community, poor economic growth, and a lack of trust in city government. With that, the city council set out goals to improve that. And basically, we wanted to rekindle the sense of community within the city. We wanted to spur quality economic development, and we wanted to restore public trust in the city government. Here's how we evaluated the results. We compared the 2012 to the 2010, and this is the way the survey tells us to do it, results. Improvements of less than 4 percentage points are considered static, with no real significant improvement. Improvements of 4 to 6 percentage points are considered marginally significant. You're moving in the right direction, keep moving in that direction. And then improvements of 7 percentage points or more are considered statistically significant. Something's happened, something's changed. There was 104 questions that directly reflected on the community, city services, and quality of life. Of those 104 questions, 26 comparisons showed static or little change. But I gotta make a qualifier here. Some of those 26 static are like the police department. Police department was 95, goes to 97. That's only 2%. Okay, that's not static. That's great. So that 26 does not mean that we had 26 areas that were just flat. It just means that some of the areas that we're really good at remained really good. 27 comparisons showed marginal improvement. We're moving in the right direction. Again, some of these things were like waste, lawn pickups and minor things, and they're very close to between marginal and statistically significant. But 51% or 75% of the 104 questions were significantly significant, which is what excited me. Here's how it was done. If you look, this is one group of questions. This group of questions happens to be community characteristics. The question was, what you considered a quality of life in Snellville. Now, the percentage that answered excellent or good in 2010 was 70%. 70% of the respondents said that they felt that quality of life in Snellville was good or excellent. In 2012, 75% of the respondents felt that way. So that was an improvement of 7 percentage points. I know it looks like 5, but when you figure it out mathematically, it really is 7%. Okay, then the next question we asked was, Snellville is a place to live. In 2010, 75% of the respondents considered it either good or excellent. for Snellville as a place to live. In 2012, 80%, which was a percentage, again, of 6%. Recommend Snellville as a place to live. This is where I think we've made some really good strides. In 2010, 71% of respondents said that they thought that they would recommend Snellville as a place for someone to live. 79% did the same thing in 2012, which is plus 11%. So again, that's statistically significant. And then, who do you plan on living here for the next 5 years? Again, a substantial increase. 72% of the people in the 2010 survey thought the chances of them living in Snellville for 5 years is either good or excellent. 79% felt that way in 2012, so that was an improvement of 9%. Our first goal, again, was sense of community. We knew that there was a sense of people didn't feel like they had a sense of community, and we felt it was necessary to do our share to do that. What did we do? The steps that we took were we enlisted volunteers. Volunteers started and created the Snellville Farmers Market, and then council established the Snellville Tourism and Trade Board, which you just heard a report from. The Snellville Tourism and Trade Board created the Spirit magazine, which you now get quarterly, which is a nice colored magazine, tells you about everything that's going on in the city. Created the Fall Festival. Stat Board did that also. We added the word proud to the slogan. Now you think that's pretty insignificant, but it really wasn't. We changed the slogan from where everybody's somebody to where everybody's proud to be somebody. Just that pride. We felt it was very important that if we were going to have a good aura about the city outside the city, we had to have a good aura inside the city. If we're not proud of it, no one else is going to be proud of it. Just adding that one word has done an awful lot towards that goal, I think. We added concerts to the green, and we turned the Christmas tree lighting into something that wasn't even in the budget for 2009 into 2011. We had 6,000, 7,000 people, and we did that up here. Now, after we did that, what were the results? Opportunity to attend cultural activities within the city went up 34%. Opportunity to participate in community matters went up 27%. Opportunity to participate in social events went up 26%, and the sense of community was increased by 28%. We're not there, but we're certainly working in the right direction. The next, and our second goal was to improve economic development. There was a sense that all you had on 78 was pawn shops, used car lots. We were getting what we call Class C businesses into the city. Pawn shops and used car lots. And we felt it was important to try and turn that around. So the steps that we took, we put an emphasis on economic development. Council turned down undesirable CUP applications. I can remember turning down some pawn shops. I can remember a laundromat that was turned down. We just didn't want them in the city. We hired an economic development manager. We became, the council as a mass was much more favorable and much more conducive to looking at new development, and as long as it was quality development, and we purchased the Wisteria property. The physical results of those changes were the addition of the Academy Sports, Eastside Hospital addition. I don't really think that was something that happened in that period. I don't really think that what we did in that period added to that. But the other things, Kaiser Permanente, the Olive Garden, the repurpose of the stores in front of the Presidential Shopping Center, McDonald's, the new McDonald's, the new Del Taco, the things that we did in that front of that, or things that happened in front of that shopping center. The new neighborhood grocery, which is going to be opening up here next month, was done during that period. The new Verizon store was done during that period. That's open now. And once again, I think one of the physical results is our ability to buy the Wisteria property. Now, how does that result? What does the survey says? The survey says that overall appearance of the city has improved 17%. The quality of the new development in the city by these surveys show is up 28%, and the overall direction that the city is taking economic development-wise is up 38%. Again, significant advances, I believe. The third goal was to improve public trust. As you know, prior to that, it's been 5 years where it was a split council. There was a lot of divisiveness. There's a lot of lack of trust with city government. We felt that that had to be turned around. Again, we had to have people be proud of their government, proud of who they are, and proud of where they live if we're going to be able to take that same thing and move forward with it outside of the city. So what we did is the council members were present at city events and attending civic meetings. We're much more available. If you went out to a meeting, and there's people in this room that can tell you that, if you're at a meeting somewhere, there's members of council that are at that meeting. We seek citizens' input on decisions such as the city center project. We had charrettes. We invited the public to come in. We showed them what we're trying to do. We asked them how they wanted to grow. And then took all their input. We did the same thing with the community garden. We held open charrettes, had people come in and give us their ideas on how they wanted to see the projects in the city move forward. We involved them in it. And then we facilitated community projects like the farmers market. We didn't stand in the way. We did everything we could in the city to make sure that was successful. I was at GMA conference down in Savannah, and I went to a meeting about farmers markets. And I believe Councilman Howard was in the same meeting. You wouldn't believe all the people complaining about how they had no cooperation from the city government, how they had to work to get things done, and you know, we just kind of smiled. We stood out, we got out of the way. We got out of the way as staff. All we told them was what we wanted them to do and asked them if they'd do it, and they did it. And then the last thing is we explained, the city council made a decision, we explained it, and we explained it in detail. I want you to remember that last slide, because here's the results were. Value received for taxes paid for the city was up 30%. Now, you'll remember that in 2010, we raised city taxes because we felt we had to put money in economic development. We felt that we had to invest in the city. We asked the people to invest with us and to trust us, and we would do everything we could to return that investment back to them. It worked because in 2012, respondents, 30% more of the respondents felt that they got a value received for taxes that they paid to the city. Overall direction of the city leaders is up 40%. Welcoming citizens' involvement was up 33%. They felt like they could come to the city and get involved at some level if they wanted to do that. And the quality of the services provided was up 12%. So that's the things on those three things. My last slide is about going forward from here. This remark, and this is one of the remarks out of the survey. It says this: the service found to be most strongly correlated with ratings of overall service quality from the Snellville key driver analysis was economic development. This story is to be continued. The next project, as you know, is our town center project. We're still working on it. We've been working on it for 2 years. We're going to continue. But I just want you all to see this because it shows that we're headed in the right direction and that the citizens are realizing it. And anybody have any questions? Council?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Witz. That concludes our committee department reports.